long glossed over oak tables growing creakily as all the chattering children sat down for dinner. Above them, candles swayed to the left and right, faintly lit by the spellbinding magical night sky. A suppressed babble and the clinking sound of cutlery filled the great hall. All of a sudden, the aromas of gravy, roast chicken and roast gammon filled the hall's air. As the children looked up, they gasped as they saw cotton candy floss clouds levitating in the moonlit magical sky. The chatter continued. The rock-hard stone gargoyles hovered as they strolled across the ceiling while they clutched on to their reddish-orange flaming torches. Instantaneously, lots of high-pitched shrieking filled the great hall just as the students were about to consume their feast. Immediately, all the students' faces lit up with joy as they were tearing open some gifts. Well, all except one. That was Ron. Ron's hour was late. Errol had glided with passion into the juicy turkey. Silly owl, muttered Ron. Always late. What's this? Questioned Ron. It's a howler, Ron, stated Harry. Oh, what the hell is a howler, Ron queried. It's normally not a very good thing, Ron, uttered Neville. I ignored one for my gran once. It was horrible. Oh, okay, stuttered Ron, as the children turned and stared. Ronald Weasley! I cannot believe you would dare to steal that car! Your father is now facing an inquiry at work and it's all your fault. Furthermore, you were late at all your classes, failed most of them, and you insulted a teacher. I am absolutely disgusted. You do another thing wrong, we'll bring you straight home. Oh, and Harry dear, you're welcome to visit any time as you are exceptional, unlike some people. The howler ripped itself up until it was nothing but ash and dust. Oh my God, wasn't expecting that, exclaimed Ron, holding back his tears as he was too embarrassed to say anything more. The whole hall laughed. You okay, Ron? Asked Harry, feeling guilty. Yeah, Ron, that was a bit harsh, exclaimed Hermione. Mine was way worse. Consider yourself lucky, exclaimed Neville. Shut up, Longbottom, uttered Ron as he stormed out the hall in anger. I'm going to follow him, whispered Hermione. Me too, agreed Harry. But consider yourself lucky as you got called yourself exceptional, exclaimed Hermione. Yeah, I guess, murmured Harry. Extensive tables reached the length of the majestic hall at Hogwarts. Inside the grand hall were dancing candles in the air, dimly lit. On the ceiling was a huge stained glass window. Rays of moonlight were beaming through the open window. On every table was an immense amount of food, with a satisfactory aroma. The old, unique cutlery was clinking every 10 seconds. As if they saw a ghost, the students were flabbergasted at the great hall. The diamond-like stars were screaming with joy. Suddenly, the accessible window had elegantly flying owls gliding past, as if they were fleeing from a poacher. The owls' golden eagle-like wings were as lengthy as a broomstick. Once their bright yellowy-green eyes were locked on their recipient, they dropped their mail on the golden plate. Their curved beaks released, creating a ripple of smiles on the students' faces, all but one. Ron. Ron was sitting there, humiliated as the room went silent. Everyone was looking at Ron. Look guys, Ron's got himself a howler, shouted Seamus. I ignored one from my nan once. It was horrible, claimed Neville. Ron was trembling with fear. Open it! Open it! Everybody was chanting whilst covering their ears. Ron peeled off the red wax rosette and then, Ronald Weasley, how dare you eat the Muggle's rarest chocolate bar? Your father is angry and his shop is now getting bad reviews. Everyone is complaining to the manager. Your father has received a warning letter that if you do one more thing wrong, we will bring you straight home and spank you a lot. And Ginny, congratulations on making it into Gryffindor. Your father and I are so proud of you. The ringing silence dropped. Crabbe and Goyle screamed, ha ha ha, what a dumb boy. Seamus claimed, that's even worse than mine. Fred and George statemented, someone is going to get grounded. He sunk into his chair, covering his ears so he couldn't hear anyone. Draco shouted, ha ha ha, what a stupid boy. Ron muttered, why did I open it? He dashed out of the room and Harry, along with Hermione, followed him. Don't worry, Ron. At least it wasn't from a teacher, stated Hermione. But that was so embarrassing, Ron cried.
As it was late in the evening, all of the Hogwarts students, young and old, came to the hall for dinner. Above them, the dimly lit candles danced in the night sky, and gargoyles patrolled the outer rim of the hall. The students sat on the long row of medieval-looking tables as long as a whale, while the stained glass windows stood imposing over the children. Because the clink of cutlery was so loud, it was most likely more ear-piercing than the children's muffled talk and murmurs. The aroma of sumptuous roast chicken and gravy infected the nostrils of Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. The children wait as they look at the magical ceiling of the hall impersonating the midnight sky. While they were eating through their main course, a swarm of owls came storming in like a team of planes. The evening mail was on its way. The letters came to every student and put a smile on their face. As Neville's letter came, everyone stared as they laughed. "Neville's got himself a howler," giggled everyone. "What's a howler?" Harry questioned. "You'll see," replied Ron as the letter began to open. "Neville Frank Longbottom, you have been failing classes and I am sick of it. You have disappointed me and your friends and it's entirely your fault. Also, for your information, you will not be getting any sweets for a year. Oh, and congratulations on getting good scores on the tests, Mr. Potter. Unlike some people." "Oh my God," remarked Ron. "I know, right? That was a bit harsh," added Harry. "No, I just can't believe that she said Neville has friends," corrected Ron. Neville attempted to leave the hall in embarrassment while the letter ripped itself up. "But at least it wasn't as bad as Ron's howler," Hermione mentioned, trying to reassure him. "No," a voice called out. "It was worse." Everyone broke into laughter as Neville ran through the giant oak doors, weeping to his dormitory.
Elongated tables stretched the length of the extraordinary hall, which was the Great Hall at Hogwarts, while the clear blue sky was replacing itself with a cosy grey dawn night. Candles danced amongst the chattering of pupils and the clink of cutlery, as pupils settled down while tucking into their scrumptious feasts. Instantly, candles were swaying to a rhythm like a swarm of stars under a moonlight sky. The dazzling hall was quickly filled up from ravenous children waiting for their food. The poor benches were screaming in agony from the heavy children. Suddenly, over the sound of muttering children was the owl's tweet soaring down to the children. The echoes of happy children stopped. With a loud silence, there were hundreds of letters soaring overheads, but just one standing out. A bright red envelope with capital letters saying, "Fred and George Weasley." "You've got yourself a howler, Fred and George," smirked Neville. "I got one from my gran last year. I ignored it. It was horrible," he added. Fred's hands were shaking non-stop while peeling off the sticker. "Fred and George Weasley! How dare you explode them fireworks! You could have died! We are disgusted! You should be ashamed of yourself. This could face many consequences. Oh, and Ron, my dear, I hope you're having fun with all your friends. Me and your father can't wait to see you, unlike some. Fred and George, do one more thing and we'll bring you straight back home." There were gasps and giggles all around with a grin stretched ear to ear. Fred's face turned grey while sulking like a kid walking down corridors. Silence had crashed in the great hall like a chandelier from a ceiling. Everyone burst into laughter, even Ron. "How dare you mock their classmates?" "I wasn't expecting that," Ron murmured under his breath to George. As they reached the Gryffindor common room, blazing stars like heavenly fires shone through the Gryffindor common room window.